Hello, and thank you all for joining us at Westchester University's first annual Gender Justice Conference. My name is Tess Benser. I use they, them, theirs pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director of Outreach and Engagement for the Center for Women and Gender Equity and the Chair of the 2021 Gender Justice Conference Planning Committee. I am so thrilled to welcome you all on behalf of the Gender Justice Conference Planning Committee, the Center for Women and Gender Equity, and Westchester University. We are so honored to have participants from the Westchester University community and participants from across the country joining us for this inaugural conference, brought to you virtually. This conference was intentionally hosted near the end of Women's History Month and the beginning of Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the hopes of unifying the conference committee's goals of addressing gender-based oppression and centering joy and liberation for all. This conference's intention is to actively promote and advocate for a world community that values the safety, equality, and intellectual advancement of women and other historically marginalized groups. Our long-term vision for social justice is a continuously co-created environment where transformative justice is possible, where everyone's safety is secured, and where everyone finds a space of connection and belonging. And it is with this vision in mind that we create this Gender Justice Conference. This conference centers the experiences of BIPOC women and femmes, trans and queer folks, people living with disabilities, and those who have experiences of harm. Since 1974, the Center for Women and Gender Equity, which was known as the Women's Center until 2016, has served as advocates for gender equity issues in collaboration on Westchester University's campus. Since its inception, the center has focused on ensuring that the material needs of women and other historically marginalized groups organize the scope, purpose, and direction of its work. Third Wave Fund, a youth-led activist organization, defines gender justice as a movement to end patriarchy, transphobia, and homophobia, and to create a world free from misogyny. This definition recognizes the multitude of ways that gender-based oppression intersects with other forms of oppression. This approach is grounded in the intellectual and social movement organizing tradition of intersectionality. Intersectionality as a critical social theory and practice proposes that social identity categories are socially constructed and are mutually, complexly, and interdependently constituted and shape every aspect of daily life, and that these demand close examination of the operation of systemic power and the complex experience of privilege and oppression. As the Center for Women and Gender Equity moves into its 45th year of continuous operation at Westchester University, the commitment to gender justice remains strong. However, this commitment also exists with increased attention to the ways that diverse gender identities, gender expression, and lived experiences of gender shape the material circumstances of people's lives. We would like to take a moment to offer a land acknowledgement. Westchester University is located on the traditional homelands of the Lenni Lenape tribe of Native Americans, also referred to as the Delaware Indians. We acknowledge the Lenni Lenape as the original people of this land and their continuing relationship with their territory. I would like to take a moment to talk about our community agreement. Westchester University strives to create an inclusive environment for students, faculty, staff, alumni, and all other campus and community partners. Any demonstration of bias, racism, derogatory remarks, or any other actions that individually or systemically harm others have no place in our university community and is not tolerated. By attending or participating in this conference, you acknowledge that you will act in a supportive and affirming manner with an openness to learn and collaboratively engage in the educational environment created by the facilitators. Failure to adhere to this statement will not be tolerated, and you may be asked to leave the conference. Together, we can work to build an inclusive and welcoming environment for all. This annual event is hosted and sponsored by the Center for Women and Gender Equity in partnership with the Center for Trans and Queer Advocacy, the Dowdy Multicultural Center, the Center for Civic Engagement and Social Impact, the Office of New Student Programs, the Office of Student Leadership and Involvement, Westchester University Parent and Family Relations, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and her campus at Westchester. I want to take a moment now to specifically thank all of the individuals who are involved with the Gender Justice Conference Planning Committee. They've worked really hard these last few months to make this conference a reality, so please join me in offering my deep gratitude and appreciation to these individuals. Without you, this conference simply would not be happening, so thank you so much. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this welcome video, and thank you so much for attending this conference. We look forward to working with you to continue to address gender-based oppression and center joy and liberation for all. Thank you, and have a great day.